Hey everybody, welcome to Geek Addicts. Hello everybody and welcome to Geek Addicts, the pop culture podcast where giant pyramid shows up out of nowhere and I guess jumping out of helicopters will save the day. Because they sure thought so. Anyways, I'm Bill. This is Matt. How you doing, Matt?
I'm the godfather of games.
I don't know what he was in that, but yeah. If you're wondering why my perspective from the video version is extra fucked up, my monitor died like right before recording, so I had to improvise, and I'm using my fucking TV, and it is not ideal, but we're gonna deal with it for today. How you doing, Matt? How you doing?
Oh, it's been a week, Bill. It's been a week. I mean, keeping up with my usual shit, but yeah, it's just been one of those. At least the temperature hasn't been bad. It hasn't been super hot, so that's good.
It hasn't been great here. It's been kind of hit or miss. Like it was either downpouring or it's just been gross and hot and just haven't really been able to catch a break. I have not been able to sleep well at all this week. Like I don't know what's been going on. Like I think I've gotten a combined total of maybe 3 hours a night.
No, Jesus.
I don't know what's been going on. It's been weird.
That's no good.
Yeah.
So I guess you haven't really been doing a whole lot aside from podcasting and stuff this week.
I mean, we didn't even get GNC in this week because of Alex hasn't been doing great either. I got 3DO in. That's something.
Yeah.
I've been. See, Wednesday I was gonna, because we didn't do GNC, I was gonna sit down and actually get some stuff in, and I sat on the couch. The next thing I knew, I was asleep. It was
A similar things have been happening to me lately. It's every night I've gone to put Frankie to bed. Next thing I know, it's 2:00 in the morning.
Yeah, it
keeps happening. I've had zero free time because of that. So it happens.
Yeah, it's been rough. Yeah, I'm trying to think, what have I done this week? We did play Mario Kart with the boys on Thursday, so that was interesting.
That's nice.
Yeah, the Super Pod gang, I guess, is what we're calling ourselves these days.
Mm-hmm.
Mario Kart. I discovered Mario Kart 7. I mean, not 7, 8. Way better than World. I think World is kind of disappointing in hindsight.
Well, when I first heard, I haven't played it personally myself because I don't have access to the Switch 2. But when I first heard the concept of oh, you have to drive from track to track, and I'm just that just sounds like more work when all you want to do is race.
That wasn't even the problem. Honestly, that's where the most fun was, because if you're playing multiplayer, you can just dick around with your buddies. The problem is they've added nothing to it since it came out, and the tracks are fine, I guess. But I don't know, 8 just had so much more to offer.
Yeah, I get that. So I beat Final Fantasy 3.
Nice.
So I finally got that done. I'm not sure what I want to do now. I mean, I still got to finish the couple of other games that I have started, but I'm trying to think of what I want to do next. I still want to dump some time into Pokemon Emerald Road because I barely scratched the surface on that. But yeah, that's going good. I finished the first season of Superman and Lois.
Nice. What'd you think of the where it went?
I enjoyed it. I like that it kind of had a rise and fall of the tension throughout. Stuff would happen. There'd be a confrontation, and then it would kind of die down and almost seem like it's over. But there was still 4 or 5 more episodes of the season, so obviously there was still gonna be more. So the constant back and forth of like having the peaceful moments, then the intense moments. And I mean, for me personally, the stuff that I liked the most was just them trying to like acclimate to the small town life.
Mm.
Like that was the most enjoyable part for me, especially with Jordan like slowly gaining Kryptonian powers and trying to
Yeah,
figure out how to navigate that.
yeah. It's interesting because Jonathan is basically a different character from his comic counterpart.
Yeah.
Um, in a lot of ways. Um, I
Although,
fa-
oh, excuse me, as I mentioned through text, might be one of the best TV brothers of all time.
won't say anything because of future seasons, but he's got a good heart. That's for sure. They all do. The entire family does.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I love the Clark Lois dynamic. I like the fact that their relationship isn't perfect, and they highlight
Yeah.
that.
Also, another thing that I noticed, it was I think it was when they were trying to like implant the Zod memories into him, and he was like fighting against it, and he kept having those like flashes of like Zod taking over, and then him kind of fighting back. But like those kinds of scenes where it would show him with like he get the really intense look on his face, and he have like the heat vision charging up and everything. Like he, because I didn't get this impression from him through like Supergirl and all that stuff, but here he actually like when he is in the mode for it, a very intimidating Superman.
Tyler Hoechlin might be my favorite live action Superman ever. He is.
That's fair, honestly.
We,
Because
we haven't.
In Supergirl, I was kind of like, man, I mean, he's all right, but but in this, he
Well, he
fucking
actually
nails it.
gets to do stuff.
Yeah,
No, I love his performance. Like we haven't had enough of David yet to really get it because I love David as Superman as well, but we just haven't had enough at this
yeah. We've only
point.
had the one movie and like a couple of little scenes in Supergirl, so
Not Tyler, I love his performance. I love Bitsy's performance as Lois. I think she is like the perfect actress for that character, especially like an older, more has her shit together Lois.
yeah, for sure.
Um, what'd you think of the twist to where Sam Lane is a good guy in this?
Well, I don't really know much about him, like in
He's
terms of the
usually
lore.
he's usually a villain who hates aliens. That's
Well,
his usual.
that
Shtick.
was the only version of him that I'm familiar with aside from this is in the Supergirl show. And that is basically what he was in that show. Like he was very although I will say I'm glad that Superman came around to it by the end of the season. Cause I am so fucking sick of them like the like stubborn refusal of like, no, you can't have kryptonite. All kryptonite needs to be destroyed. We got to get rid of it all. This is terrible. But like, y'all get invaded by Kryptonians all the fucking time. Like, even putting aside the whole like, oh, Superman could be a threat one day. There's other Kryptonians, guys. We should probably
Sometimes.
keep a little bit, just a little
Sometimes.
bit.
That the other Kryptonians is a big sometimes. It depends
Yeah,
on the
well,
continuity.
in every continuity, it happens at least a couple times. So
Yeah, and then they usually all get sent to the Phantom Zone, and then that's it. They go away again.
I'm just saying, like, make sure you keep some of it. Keep some of it. All right. At least, can we not just do the? Because that was another thing that pissed me off with Supergirl is they were doing that constantly with whole. I can't believe you have kryptonite. This is so. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is like no. It's just called being prepared. It's called being responsible.
They got to like disclose it because that's the biggest thing with Batman is when he doesn't disclose it, that's when the shit happens.
Yeah, well, you know what? Batman is a believer in being prepared, and I am right there. So
yeah, well, there was a storyline back in the day where he was prepared but didn't tell his teammates, and then oh no, the villain stole his plans. Oops.
Oh well.
It did. It was pretty bad for them.
Another thing that kind of like randomly popped into my head recently. I don't even know if it was like from watching this show or if it's just something that popped into my head. But like it's like a pretty consistent like story beat throughout, like regardless of the medium, that like Lex gets kryptonite poisoning because he handles kryptonite so much.
Sometimes.
Like I personally have seen it in at least 3 different continuities.
Doesn't happen in comics that often, ironically.
Well, the point I'm trying to get to here is so because he's like the big anti-Superman supervillain here, like he's like the guy for Superman. He wants to keep his shit secret, keeps to keep his shit hidden, all this other stuff. So everything is lined in lead so that he can't see it.
Usually, yeah.
When the fuck is this dude gonna get lead poisoning?
Doesn't matter in comics.
But I'm just saying, like, we go out of our way to give him fucking kryptonite poisoning in every other fucking medium. What the dude's constantly handling lead. Where's the lead poisoning at? How does he get the kryptonite poisoning before he gets the lead poisoning? That's why I'm confused.
He's rich. He's got the money for it.
What does that have to do with it?
Oh, that's a canonical thing. He's got so much money. He actually has the cure for cancer, and he makes it a slow process to charge people for it because he's evil.
Well, you know what they say, art imitates life.
Yeah, that was a canonical thing at one point. He stole those 40 cakes, damn it. That's a joke some people will get. What'd you think of the Lex Luthor fake out?
Honestly, it did kind of catch me off guard because at first I thought like, oh, they cast a black dude as Lex Luthor. Like, that's cool. I didn't even think twice. And the real reason, like, yeah, the AI called him Mr. Luthor, but like the main reason was like, oh, he's bald. He must be Lex Luthor.
See, the thing with me is because I know Superman lore so much. I saw black gentleman in a steel suit of armor, and I went, "That's Steel." I'm like, why is he a villain? I'm like, okay, I'm curious now.
Oh, is that Steel?
Yeah, it's supposed to be Steel.
I don't know much about the only bit about Steel that I know is from the Worlds Collide crossover, and they basically like made it a thing in that crossover that he and Hardware are like doppelgangers of each other essentially.
So the way Steel worked in the comics was it was during the death of Superman after oh, you can see me on my phone in this camera angle. Oops. In this continuity, well, in the comics, it was right after the death of Superman, and during the reign of the Superman, you had the 4 different Supermen showed up to replace Clark. One of them was John Henry Irons, who was a fan of Superman, and he basically created. He was a fan of Superman that worked for. It was an ex-employee of LexCorp, and he basically when Superman died, he put on the Iron Suit, and he was one of the Men of Steel that were replacing him, along with Cyborg, Superman, Superboy, and the Eradicator.
Gotcha. Oh, which was also a thing apparently in this season.
Yeah, they did that's a different thing in this continuity.
I assumed so because when you refer to the Eradicator as a person, I'm like, that's not the way the show handled it.
Yeah, the comics are weird.
Which also, calling a machine whose purpose is to like reincarnate consciousness into new bodies the Eradicator. Like, come on, what were you thinking there?
So in the comics, it was the Eradicator's shtick was essentially he was there to basically protect Clark while he was basically being revived, and he would basically eradicate any non-Krypton or like any threats. Essentially, it was convoluted.
Gotcha.
He had cool shades. That was his gimmick.
Gotcha. But no, I very much enjoyed Superman and Lois the first season. It was very good. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes in the future with that.
Yeah, I gotta rewatch season 2. It's been forever.
Didn't you just rewatch the whole series? Like,
no, I only watched season 1. I got through season 1 and I got distracted.
I thought you watched the whole thing.
No, I only got through season 1, and then other things came up.
But yeah, aside from that, I'm still plugging away at Batman the Animated Series. I'm about halfway through season 2 on that. I think when I finish season 2 is when I shift over to Superman the Animated Series for a little while.
I think it's after season 3, because that's when they shift into the new Batman adventures.
Well, I'm going by like release date, and based on the release dates they have on the DCAU on Wikipedia, it says that the first 2 seasons of Superman came out before the new Adventures of Batman,
which was season 4.
That's not how it's listed on Wikipedia or HBO Max. They only list 3. I think it's because they have season 1 as like 65 episodes. I think they just mashed season 1 and season 2 together.
Maybe. It's when it shifts over to the new Batman Adventures is when that's technically season 4.
Yeah, because where I am right now in season 2, it's called The Adventures of Batman and Robin now, and it has a different opening.
Yeah, I forgot why they did that. See, I have the box sets, and the box sets are just 4 seasons. The 4th season is
that fucking episode with Poison Ivy. That was probably one of the most fucked up episodes of a superhero show I've ever seen.
There's one with Clayface later that's worse. I'll say that.
Well, dude, the fucking, do you know the one I'm talking about?
Maybe.
The episode where supposedly she's reformed and she got married and like has like 2 stepchildren.
Yeah, that was dark.
And then it turns out that no, she'd actually been mind controlling this dude, and he actually doesn't have custody of his kids. She has been harvesting DNA from this man to create like plant hybrid creatures that only live for a couple days. And there was like these weird fucked up like babies in these plants going, "Mommy." And Batman is like horrified when he finds this. He's like, "What the fuck, dude?"
Yeah, that was a Bruce Timm thing.
I was pretty horrified when I saw it. I was like, "Holy shit, dude. This is kids cartoon. This is a kids cartoon."
Yeah, Batman was edgy.
And they fucking she blatantly is like, "Yeah, I've been milking this dude for his fucking DNA." Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. There's a Clayface episode in like season 4 that's equally as fucked. You get to it later.
Jesus. But yeah, that was that fucking threw me off. I was like, "Holy shit, dude. That was surprisingly dark, even for Batman the Animated Series."
Did you get to Almost Got Him?
Oh, that was the poker episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we'll throw a rock at him.
Yeah, we'll throw a rock at him. And I love the fact that
it was a big rock.
Batman in disguise the whole time.
Yeah. It was a big rock.
Yeah, that was great.
I love that line so much.
Yeah. And then I saw it was the 2-parter where they find the dude who killed Dick's parents.
Yep. That's a good one.
Oh, and I watched Mask of the Phantasm too.
Isn't that a phenomenal movie?
Yeah, it was very good. Very good. I still like Return of the Joker more, but it was very good. It was cool, actually, like in the animated series, seeing like the early days for Batman.
Yeah.
Because it kind of just throws you in like 10 years into it, pretty much.
That was a theatrical film too, believe it or not. Like that actually got a full-on release. No one went to see it, which is why they didn't do any more after that. But
well, I mean, theatrical ones, or because I was going to say there's a couple more.
Well, they did movies, but they didn't do theatrical releases.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, adults going to see fucking animated films in the 90s was kind of unheard of.
Yeah, that's why Akira was in the kids section.
That
always ended well.
Yeah. But yeah, that's going well. I'm looking forward to dabbing into some more of that as well.
Did you see my text about the static ongoing got confirmed?
Oh yeah, I was freaking out about it so much I forgot to answer you.
Fair enough. Yeah, so it's confirmed.
I need to look into this more. Did you read anything about it? Is it supposed to be like continuing from where Shadows of Dakota left off, or is it going to be a whole new thing? I hope it just continues, honestly, but
I don't know because I don't know what the status of DC continuity is these days.
I mean, Shadows of Dakota only came out at like 3 years ago. Like,
yeah, and we've had two. We've had 2 reshuffles since then, so.
Yeah, but we've already rebooted the Static story like 3 times.
See, the problem is I'm not sure if that reboot was part of the continuity at the time, because the Dakota incident kind of implies that there was a different continuity that took some concepts, but I think it's going to follow up on the Dakota incident, to be honest.
Well, I guess I'd have to read it to know where it falls in with like
See,
the
the
own
the
continuity.
problem with DC's continuity now is that their continuity is literally everything is in canon when it's convenient. So
I'm just saying, the way Shadows of Dakota left off, it'd be fucking silly to restart it because Shadows of Dakota fucking slaps.
yeah, it's one of those things. You'll have to wait and see. I didn't read because I didn't see the synopsis. I just saw that one Reddit post about it, and I was like, oh yeah, that's cool.
I'll have to do some more research on it and report back.
Hmm.
But that is very exciting. I'm very excited for that.
Might have to start a poll list.
What now?
You might have to start a poll list at Newbury.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, aside from that, I really haven't done much this week. Chainsmoker Cat is still ridiculous. Thundercrawler Carl is still ridiculous.
Yeah. I finished the Jeremy Adams run of Flash, so now I'm officially caught up where I left off last time.
Very nice.
And I still don't really like the Spurrier run, but I'm gonna try to force my way through it so I can.
I mean, you got this far.
Yeah, it's so slow and plotting compared to like the Adams run, which was so fucking fast and fun.
Hmm.
And I just don't like the art. The art of the first arc is very not for me.
Hmm. Oh, on the subject of Static and Milestone, I did get the final compendium in the mail yesterday. So
Nice.
as soon as I finish burning through all the Carl books, I'm gonna pick those back up and continue that.
I almost forgot. I kind of tortured myself after we recorded last week. I went on a lot of totally legit websites. I had to jump around a lot of them, but I read all of the Stand comic.
Oh, did you?
I had to jump because I would start reading it on one website. That website would get nuked out, or like it would just stop working. So then I'd have to jump over to another one I could find. I was all over the place looking for this goddamn thing, and it was sketch. Like I would not recommend doing that on a non-iPad because there was many points where I was like, if I was on a computer, my computer would have gotten nuked by now.
Oh, by far, absolutely.
by viruses and shit. But I did make it all the way through it, all 6 volumes, and I will say it's pretty accurate to the book because all of those cut things that you had mentioned in the episode were in the comic. Like the tornado scene was in the comic, the Christmas thing that was in the comic. Basically, like all the cut stuff was in there.
Was the fucked up harem in there?
I believe so. What's her name? The girl that got cut from Larry's story early on. She's in there.
Oh, Rita. Yeah.
The older lady.
The one
yeah.
that killed herself.
Yeah, we got to see the aftermath in the book, and it was great.
I'm not even sure if that was. I don't think it's ever actually like specified in the book whether it was on purpose or an accidental overdose, but yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't pleasant though, because he like pulls off the blanket and he's like, "Oh."
Does it happen the same way where he comes out of the tent? It's the 4th of July and he's like singing the Star Spangled Banner with it, sticking his dick in the wind, and then he goes in to bang her and he's like, "Oh, she's dead."
Yeah, pretty much. Also,
one of the
fucking
most fucked up scenes. It's one of those fucked up scenes ever.
Fucking the miniseries didn't show this nearly as much. Harold is much more disgusting in the book. That's for sure. Yeah. But also, fucking Stu and what's her name, Franny. They fucking bang every fucking other scene. It's like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah, that's about right.
It happens so often in the fucking comic and book. I was like, what the fuck? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't realize it went so much longer after like they get back where the miniseries ends, because then there's this whole thing about like they leave and go off on their own because this place is kind of fucked now.
Yeah, well, yeah, it got to a point where like, all right, the original community is gone, and there's so many new people now that it's kind of like the community of it is kind of lost, and now it's starting to just become the way it was before. And then they're like, we don't really like the way this is going. We're just gonna leave. There's an entire East Coast that is like pretty much unpopulated. We're just gonna go there.
Yeah. I was like, that's interesting. It was an interesting read, though.
That's good.
Maybe someday that omnibus will be affordable.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep my eye on it just in case, but we'll see. Trust me, I'd love to get a copy of it, but we'll see.
Nice. All right, we're 25 minutes in. Are you ready to talk about this?
I suppose the fact that you have it on Blu-ray is just silly to me.
it was like $5, so
bargain bin.
Pretty much. So in case you didn't see the title or the if your video and you saw, we're talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, Pyramid of Light, released in 2004. Holy shit.
Yeah, actually, I looked into this because I was curious. The manga had been done for about 6 months when this movie came out.
Yep.
But Battle City wasn't done over here yet, so we got that before Battle City had finished.
Yeah. Yeah. So it kind of spoils that Yugi wins, but not that that's much of a spoil.
Not like anybody expected anything different.
Also, this movie is the start of the very non-canon shit that's only canon to the anime. Because, like,
it's very clearly anime canon.
Oh, yeah, because Pegasus is alive, like, right away. Yeah. Also, so 4Kids dubbed this, obviously, and this is peak 4Kids stupidity.
Oh, yeah.
Because the anime itself has its cringy cheese moments, but, like, this movie, holy shit. Like,
yeah.
This was bad.
It goes real hard.
Why? So when Kaiba's doing his stupid simulation shit, where he clearly has his own headcanon for Yami, because holy shit, Yami is like a smug asshole in those sims, and I'm like, that's
well, that's how Kaiba sees him. You know?
I know.
He calls him smug and cocky in this movie when they're having their duel.
Yeah, I know, and it's so it's just weird. Eric Stewart was clearly just here for a paycheck because he sounds so uninterested half the time.
Yeah. He got his own theme song in this movie, and that song was actually pretty good.
What was that random fucking punk rock song in the middle of the movie?
I think it was written specifically for this.
It was, because there's also that ending one, like the "It's Time to Duel" or whatever song.
That song, I don't know if you remember this. Do you remember? I think it was a Burger King thing.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Music to Duel By, where it was like 4 little CDs with like 4 songs each on them.
Yeah.
It was Yu-Gi-Oh! Music to Duel By, and they were all like stupid songs, like the Friends to the End song, whatever the fuck it was that they that played when Yugi and Joey dueled during Duelist Kingdom. That was on there too. Yeah. As I heard it, I'm like, hey, I know this. I remember this from back in the day.
So, yeah, just the dubbing choices were something else in this one.
Yeah. Something stinks about this. That was me. Sorry.
Oh. What the fuck? Yeah, what the fuck was that? that is even for 4Kids goofiness. That was beyond goofy.
Is it really a fart joke? Are you serious right now?
Not even a clever one. Yeah, I saw this in the theater with my mother back in the day. I apologize to this day because holy shit.
Yeah. I did not see it in theaters. Although as a kid, I probably still would have loved it anyway because I was super into Yu-Gi-Oh! But looking at it now, it's like, ugh.
The plot, I was trying to break down the plot for this movie because I remember when we did this for 3 anime films on GNC, Alex literally told me she fell asleep watching it, like
don't blame
barely
me.
Getting into it, and I was like, it can't be that bad. And I watch it now again, and I'm like, yeah, because the plot is straight up just to sell toys. Like there is no useful plot in this movie.
It was basic as fuck.
Like this ancient Egyptian god Anubis is here and he's angry. And he because Yugi fixed the puzzle, it woke him up from his slumber, I guess, with his copycat Millennium Puzzle.
Which even that, like, no matter which, God damn it, hiccups. No matter which continuity you're looking at, that's not how he put the puzzle together. It was the whole thing where Joey threw the puzzle piece in the water, and then he had to fish it out and get it to him when they were getting beat up by the bully. Like that's how it happened. Like what? Now all of a sudden it's just like, oh, the beginning of the movie, here he is putting it together in his room, and then fucking a bunch of monsters come out of nowhere. Like what the fuck?
And then he becomes Yami, and just like randomly Yami's like, enough. And then that's it.
Go away.
I'm done with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this movie really likes to showcase Yugi has the God cards.
Yeah. Well, it was a big deal at the time. It's a big deal.
Except he hadn't got them all yet.
Yeah, but we all knew he was gonna.
I know. But which is funny though, because in this movie it's like a big deal that he has them, but he, like in the show he was all like, "No, I can't use them. They're too powerful."
I also love just like the giant mob of people just trying to get at him to duel him for the cards.
Yeah, that one dipshit who's like, "Yeah, I bet I could beat him, no problem." That loser. And I'm just like, buddy, you see who he beats? Like
he beat the guy who made the game.
He beat a psychopath from Egypt and Kaiba, who is also a psychopath. I don't think you stand shit, sir.
Yeah, right.
Also, this is the second anime I remember from my childhood involving a anime woman with a giant needle shoving it in someone's ass.
Yeah, as soon as that happened, I was like, "Oh, Bill's gonna love this scene."
Like, my God, great! It's old lady Chi-Chi all over again.
Yeah.
Only Chi-Chi didn't seductively go, "Hey there," as it happened.
Yeah. Also, so like, I know this probably happened in the anime, but like between the Toon Dark Magician Girl and then when he's playing actual Dark Magician Girl, just the ha every time. Like, it's like, what the fuck, dude?
Also, those two other tunes, just like,
yo, those fucking the Gemini elves. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, like what was going
on? They were very bouncy, we'll say.
Yeah, 4Kids forgot to edit out the cleavage.
4Kids forgot to edit a lot of stuff, apparently. I was actually looking at a video about, like, just dumb shit about this movie earlier while I was waiting for you to set up your monitor situation. And apparently they made a lot of mistakes with some of this shit. Like, at one point when all of Yugi's cards are flying all over the place, apparently he had two Winged Dragon of Ra's.
That's fine.
And there was, like, a bunch of stupid things like the text and stuff. Also, like, it's very clear that this is like a movie level art style because at this one point where there are characters in the movie watching scenes from Battle City. And so we're seeing like actual scenes from the show versus like what's happening right now in the movie. And while I don't think the animation is significantly better, the art style itself looks very pretty.
Yeah. What studio animated this?
I have to imagine it's the same one that did the series.
Let me check because I don't remember. Studio Gallop. Okay, so it's probably them. The funniest parts though were like the scenes where 4Kids did one of their edits, and their editing job is so sloppy that it clashes with the film animation really bad.
Oh yeah.
Because 4Kids edits are horrendous.
One thing I was surprised about though is like there were some things that they didn't bother editing, like for example, when Kaiba's using the pet in the dark clown or whatever, it just straight up stabs Yugi in the back.
Yeah, that happens. I mean, Joey gets straight up needle up the ass.
That's true. Well, it was also like earlier, right? So, well, first of all, I will give it this: the idea that Pegasus had a card specifically created to counter the Egyptian gods actually does make sense. The actual usability of this card, considering it involves requires you to sacrifice a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon to play it.
Oh, the shining! Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm like the actual card or the fake, the other card.
No, the Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. Like having him actually make a card specifically to counter that makes sense.
And it's such a Kaiba centric card too.
Well, it actually, when you look at, especially since we just read the manga and we have that context, the idea of the blue eyes being the monster strong enough to rival the Egyptian gods is something that is established in the lore. So I'm okay with it being a blue eyes centric idea.
I just find it funny that Pegasus made a card that he knew specifically only Kaiba could ever summon.
Especially since, like, wasn't it like a thing when Yugi and Kaiba were having their Duelist Kingdom duel? Where wasn't it like a thing that like Kaiba was the first person to think to fuse the blue eyes together into Blue Eyes Ultimate?
Was that in the manga too? Because I feel like that was a 4Kids stupid edit.
I don't remember, but like I also find it odd that like we have the Blue Eyes Ultimate situation, right, with the 3 heads. But there was 4 blue eyes originally. Kaiba ripped one of them in half, but
yeah,
there was 4. So why would we have like a specific monster that takes 3 of them when there's 4 of them? That just never made sense to me.
The whole Blue Eyes line is so confusing. Also, another thing in this movie that I don't know if this was just the anime being fucky like usual, but in the anime, it was implied that the only way Pegasus could summon the tunes is if he had the originals to summon the tune versions.
Yeah, that was implied, wasn't it?
But then in this movie, he just summons the tune versions, and I'm like, okay.
Well, they couldn't have the duel go on that long. It was kind of cool to actually see Kaiba have, like, you know, get his win over Pegasus.
It was, but it was so lame at the same time. That fight was so lame.
It was. I did love that early scene though. When Pegasus is having that weird like fever dream about
no
the
more
Egyptian
white
gods.
wine spritzers for me.
Yeah, no more white wine spritzers for me. And then the next scene we see him is like his Croquet. He's like, "Here's your red wine spritzer." He's like, "Oh, thank you, Croquet."
I will say.
Oh, you just switched to red. Okay.
I will say, out of all the 4Kids VAs, I still love the guy that does Pegasus's voice because he was the only guy that seemed to be having fun during this movie.
Well, that's because it's just James with extra spice.
I know. Actually, oh yeah, that's right. It is. It's just. Why did Eric Stewart seem so interested there, but then bored as fuck doing Kaiba?
I don't know.
Okay, I love the Pegasus voice though. One thing I found interesting too is in this movie, Kaiba uses an old school duel arena.
Well, I think it's just because Pegasus just had that on hand.
But in Waking the Dragons, when he goes back to Pegasus's island again, because that happens, he like plugs it in so he can still use his dual disc. They must not have thought of that yet. Because I was like, oh yeah. For some reason, I always thought that happened in this movie, but then I was like, oh no, that was Waking the Dragons. It's like one of the few things I remember from that shitty season.
So, how do we feel about Anubis?
He's boring as fuck.
Yeah.
He shows up, gets his ass beat, and is just gone. Like the fight is pathetic.
Oh yeah.
Like, the Kaiba fight is more interesting before it.
Even that doesn't make any sense because I don't know if you were keeping track. I was trying to keep track.
Also, how did Yugi summon the gods that fast?
Well, he was able to play one of them, and then Kaiba like used another card to like force him to summon the other 2.
Because that just okay, sure.
Because he wanted to use Pyramid of Light to banish them all.
Also, that scene
which
where
that's
like,
not what the card does, by the way. The card doesn't actually do that.
Well, the card is fucking useless. And I think it's banned, technically.
I don't know.
It was a promotional card. It came with the VHS tape. I had it for years, and then it was gone. But I did kind of enjoy the fact though that like when he summons the pyramid, Obelisk is just kind of like just touches and dies immediately. I was like, why did they bother to and if whatever? That was like and then they just come back. I'm like, that sure, whatever. Makes sense.
And there's just a bunch of mummies in the fucking the puzzle. Like randomly.
Yeah, sure. Oh yeah, because they all get sucked into the puzzle. And then my favorite scene in the fucking movie, because it's so fucking stupid, is like Taya's up on the fucking helicopter because Kaiba's just destroying his arena doing this. And
But magic isn't real. But magic isn't real.
Kaiba's so fucking he won't give in, but it drove me nuts because it's like Pegasus shows up to rescue them in his helicopter because he just suddenly decided to care. And like they have like all of them up in the helicopter and along with Joey and Tristan's bodies. And Taya's like, I have to help them. I'm gonna jump off the side of this helicopter.
Because that'll definitely help.
And I'll say they didn't edit shit like with like the fucking tits bouncing around. But then like the second like Taya's on the rail, they make sure you don't get an upskirt shot despite where that camera was angled. And I'm like,
yeah,
Yu-Gi-Oh! You think they would be all into that?
Also, I find it very funny that 2 out of the 3 people that Pegasus just saved were the people he was holding hostage and like basically being like, if you don't beat me, they're going to be doomed for eternity.
Yeah. I mean, Mokuba was kind of annoyed. Grandpa, he's in his Alzheimer's phase, I guess, at this point.
But it's okay because Grandpa was climbing the ladder behind Taya, so he was fine.
I didn't even think of that. Oh, Jesus Christ. Isn't she like... I'm not even going to go there.
He's never cared before, just saying.
I know. Well, I love the scene where they're at the fucking museum early on, and like Taya's really creeped out by a mummy, which she didn't seem to care in the previous seasons, but whatever. I think she's seen worse at this point, but they're just there, and all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, look, it's Grandpa!" And I'm like, "Oh, he's just Alzheimer in his way here, I guess."
I love how Yugi's like, "What are you doing here?" Like he's so like accusatory. He's like, "Who let you out of the basement?
Who let you out of the home? You're supposed to watch who's watching the card shop? There's rare cards there.
We're always broke."
Oh my god. Yeah, that happened. And then like the fucking like just mummy just gets up and walks away, I guess. And
yeah, just conveniently. He's just like, hey, now's a good time to wake up.
Like, oh no, the mummy's gone. And he stole the pyramid of light. Yeah. that shit. But Taya jumps off the helicopter to go help them because they have to do their annual we got our friendship ring.
No, yeah. Do you remember our friendship signal?
They're like, of course we do. And then the fucking like mummies are like, no, we're not doing this stupid shit. Like, get out of here with that.
Yeah.
And then Taya.
And then she kicks their heads off.
And then she's a little bitch for the rest of the night. I'm like, for the love of God, like consistency.
But it's okay because Yugi hit the eye with the hilt of the dagger because apparently that's fine.
He would have just used his fucking playing card to do it in normal fucking canon.
It's okay. You just whip out like fucking, I don't know, some sort of sword card and it'd be fine.
This movie's really bad. Like,
yeah. So apparently, right? So obviously, we like in the context of the movie, right? Anubis is like he's like the Egyptian god of the dead or whatever, and for some reason was trying to destroy. Well, first of all, here we go again with the whole like the villain wants to just destroy the world and eradicate all life. It makes no sense. Like there's no motivation. There's no reason for that to be a thing. Why do you want everyone to be dead? What are you gonna do when that's done? I'm waiting. Like, what are you gonna do? But like putting that aside, like he basically tried to take over the world with Shadow Games. The Pharaoh stopped him. He's a mummy now, and then he comes back, and all this stuff is going on. So apparently, there is a Japan-only novelization of this film, and apparently the story they did in that was Anubis is actually just a regular ass like Egyptian sorcerer, like all the rest of them. And Akhenaten actually had created the Pyramid of Light for Seto to be like a counterpoint to the puzzle so that he would have its power to essentially usurp the throne. And he used his most trusted servant was supposed to deliver it. But then for some reason he turned on Akhenaten and tried to like take it and take over. And then when that didn't work, I guess Akhenaten had like sewn the head of a dog over his face, and that's when they started calling him Anubis.
Sure.
Yeah. It's a whole crazy thing. It's like, holy, wait, what? That actually sounds like it would be a way more interesting story. I know we hadn't gotten that in the anime yet, the whole Egypt thing, but like, that sounds way more interesting than this.
Yeah. Just this movie baffles me.
Yeah. Also, there are numerous points where they just like completely forget certain things. Like when he plays the fucking the blue eye shining dragon, right? And he's like, oh, he gains so and so amount of attack points for every dragon, and I got 3 blue eyes and blue eyes ultimate and what was it, the rare black dragon or whatever. He says, so I gained 1,500 attack points, but they forgot one. There was the Paladin of White Dragon was also in there. And
it's fine. It was
anyways. But if no, it isn't, because if he had that, if they had actually thought that, like, oh wait, there was another dragon, it would have been stronger and he would have won.
Kaiba's a bad duelist. Okay, we've learned this at this point.
I blame the writers, not Kaiba. That was the writers' fault.
Joey almost beat him a few times. All right, like
one time. Also, Joey does not use the red eyes at any point in this movie.
Yeah, I'm thinking of something else.
It's all Guilford the Lightning and Gearfried.
I was thinking of a different. I'm probably thinking of Dark Side Dimensions, which is a better movie I'd rather think about, to be honest.
Yeah. Ironically, I've only seen that.
Oh, no. He uses
a bunch of times.
I'm thinking of Waking the Dragons again. He uses it in Waking the Dragons.
Honestly, I think Waking the Dragons is better than this.
I mean, it is, but that's like comparing shit to puke. Like, they both suck.
Didn't you just use that exact comparison on 3D?
I use that comparison a lot. I use that for most election cycles. Okay.
Yeah. A giant douche and a turd sandwich.
Pretty much. But yeah, this movie literally happens. And then of course they beat Anubis, and he's like, "Not so fast! I'm a dog creature now."
Not so fast! I'm a marble, and I'm just going to be a giant goop dragon.
And then we get to see his body melt, and it's gross.
And again, magic, not real. But cards will solve this problem. Cards will solve this problem.
See, Kaiba's that guy in the corner who just goes, "It's AI."
So what do you mean holograms aren't solid? What are you talking about?
I'm going to jump on my dragon's head.
Yeah.
Also, Kaiba. Was this movie the first introduction of Kaiba's fucking blue eyes jet?
Over here, I think so.
That jet is so stupid. Like,
I think, didn't he fly away in the blue eyes jet when they were leaving Alcatraz Island?
I thought they just had a helicopter, to be honest.
I'm pretty sure it's the blue eyes jet. At least in the anime, it was. In the manga, it was just a regular ass fucking jet. But for some reason, in the anime, they had to make him even more extra.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is probably the least enjoyable Yu-Gi-Oh movie.
Yeah, and there's only like 3 of them. I think.
And the second one is literally just like a crossover film. It's literally just there so the first 3 protagonists can interact.
Yeah, and when I watched it, I only cared about Yugi and maybe Jaden a little bit. I did not give a shit about the 5Ds guy at all.
What, you don't like card games on motorcycles?
No. I didn't like Card Game High School that much. Yeah. The best Yu-Gi-Oh movie is Dark Side of Dimensions. Like, by that one's literally based off the manga.
Yeah. Looking forward to covering that one. That'll be fun.
Yeah, that's honestly the one I'd like to cover because it's actually good.
Well, at this point, we started with Pyramid of Light, so we're gonna have to do Bonds Beyond Time first, and then we'll do Dark Side Dimensions.
Also, the part where like Yugi and Kaiba's decks totally just fly out of their fucking things.
I'm just imagining a scene after the villain is defeated and everything, where they're both just hunched over on the ground, be like, "Nope, this is your card. Here you go." And they're just going through them.
Yeah. Kaiba's just like suddenly like chivalrous, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that one's yours." He just like suddenly,
"This is Obelisk. I'm gonna stick that in my pocket."
He looks and he goes, he just kind of like gives it to him.
Not my pride, my pride.
I didn't earn it. Duel me, fix your deck and duel me after.
Yeah. We both know that if that guy hadn't shown up, I totally would have. Oh, by the way, when he just kind of like forms in the ether, and he's just like this gigantic beefcake, just buck naked. Kaiba was started out looking down. Just gonna throw that out there. Well, and then he looked up and was like, "Oh no."
Well, because Kaiba's got tiny dick energy. Like he clearly does.
Oh, for sure.
Like that guy has got a lot of issues. As we learned from Dark Side of Dimensions, where he fucking goes back in time. My God.
He builds a goddamn space elevator.
And that movie's the best one too. That's still the funniest part.
Kaiba literally made a ladder to heaven.
Kaiba is... It's weird that Kaiba's more of a loser in that movie, but he's more endearing in that movie. This movie, he's just like...
Well, that movie, he's just like, I miss my best friend.
He's like, I miss my rival, my lover. Basically.
It's too funny.
The real love triangle was Yami, Kaiba, and Taya. Let's be real.
I thought it was Yami, Kaiba, and Yugi.
No, Yugi's like the third wheel that doesn't... He's not in on any of it.
He's the third wheel of everybody's love triangle.
Pretty much. That's why in fucking GX he's fucking ripped for no reason. He's overcompensating.
I'm just gonna get yoked instead.
Yeah. He's like, Tail
notice. Eat your heart out, Atem.
And then Atem's just like,
he's like, you know what? I'm gonna help Kaiba bring you back to life just so I can show off my fucking glutes.
He's like, Atem's like, I'm dead, bro. Oh yeah, what'd you think of evil Karibo at the start of the movie?
That was bizarre.
It was like, oh, it's not cute anymore. Oh no.
It was fucking weird.
You can still kill it by stepping on it.
Yeah. Also, you'd think by now they would just learn, like, maybe we just shouldn't fuck with Egyptian artifacts anymore. Because every time they find an Egyptian artifact, the entire team there dies.
You would have thought that when the door closed in on them and killed the entire team, they would have realized, maybe not. Maybe we shouldn't.
Maybe we should just leave it there.
Yeah, don't touch it.
You would think.
Do you remember all the fucking collecting the cards for this movie? Like, the three Anubis cards, Shining Dragon, and then Pyramid of Light you could get.
Yeah. I remember I didn't see it in theaters, but I remember talking to people who did. And I remember they gave out cards to go see it. And that was part of the reason was, damn, I really want that Shining Dragon.
Yeah, and you were one of
dragon.
Then you were one of the unlucky ones like me who got Pyramid of Light. I was like,
well, I have heard of some people who got Watapon, so...
Yeah, because I know everybody wanted Shining Dragon. A lot of people got the shitty Anubis cards that no one wanted.
Yeah, the Sphinx cards that suck.
I think I got Pyramid of Light, and then I think I got one of those because my mom got a card too, and she's like, I don't want this.
This is like the worst. This is like the worst promotion for the card game ever because all the cards that they were trying to show off were awful.
Yeah, because like the only one that was kind of interesting was Shining Dragon, but it's so fucking... If you're gonna go set up for it like that, you might as well just play Ultimate Dragon Knight at that point.
Well, also, fun fact, so obviously we need to... You need to fuse a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and then sacrifice said dragon to play the Blue Eyes Shining Dragon. But when this movie came out, they hadn't released an Ultimate Dragon card. It was not for another year for that card to come out.
Yeah. Yeah, do you remember back in the day when you would like just play your fusion cards without the actual fusion card?
Oh yeah. And
Like,
before I even knew how fusion worked, I was just like 3 blue eyes, 9,000 attack points. That's how much it's got.
oh, the fucking fake rules we would make back in the day where it's like, no, that's not how it works. And you're just like, I win. Give me your card.
Yeah, I win. Give me your Dark Magician, loser.
You quiet nerd. Also, we got a new Dark Magician variant in this. Like, we got like fucking emo Dark Magician in this movie.
Also, like, so we had that like the simulation thing at the beginning, right? Where like they like Yugi hops onto like fucking Obelisk's back and Kaiba's on top of the dragon's head. And they're both like it's like the same kind of Coliseum deal that they had when they were fighting in Battle City. We're like, how are they not like, what? What did you say?
What are you saying?
My blue eyes. What?
Also, I love how like the fact that like Joey and Tristan held those guys off all that time, and then Tay and Yugi just show back up like, "Hey guys, is the coast clear?" And they're like, "There he is, get him!"
Yeah.
That was
too
so
funny.
dumb.
The Godfather of games.
God, Wayne Grayson was like high off his fucking mind in this movie. I swear to God.
For real.
I like how he like beats like a few of them, but then like just like gets his ass kicked by that first guy with the fucking nurse.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then he like beats on that child.
And he was like the big beefy dude too, and he's just like, check out my fairy lily.
Hi there. Like,
So
I mean, we don't. I mean, he clearly has a type.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. This movie ends essentially where nothing happened. They
Yep,
just move
we
on.
all forgot this happened.
And then the next episode, Weevil and Rex steal the card because we need to do Awakening the Dragons.
Of course.
Hooray!
Everyone's favorite arc.
Yeah. You know what I think of it? We're gonna have to do a whole episode on it at some point.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, you're gonna have to rewatch it.
Just that arc, because that arc is worthy of its own episode.
I mean, it's pretty self-contained.
It is. Does Mai ever recover in the anime from that?
What with like the weird mind control thing?
Yeah, she gets mind controlled again. Like,
No, she breaks out of it. I think it was after she accidentally killed Joey, and then she was like, "Oh no, my man."
who I never will talk to again after this arc. Bye.
Hmm.
She was in this movie for like 3 seconds.
Yeah, so we're Rex and Weevil.
Yeah, those
They
two
were all
guys.
just sulking.
Well, Mai was suffering from trauma. Those two were just sulking.
Especially Rex. He lost to Esperova.
And Joey previously.
Yeah.
Lost all his good cards.
And Mai before that.
Well, he didn't really lose to that one. He just got tricked.
True. This is true.
Yeah, and then Weevil somehow is even more embarrassing. Actually, Weevil's the more embarrassing ones because his losses are just stupid.
Yeah.
Dude cheats and still loses.
That's Yu-Gi-Oh! The movie, Pyramid of Light.
It sucked.
I'd rather watch the fucking virtual world arc.
That at least does interesting things. It's
I'd rather watch
stupid, but it's interesting.
The mini virtual world arc.
Oh, from the first season?
Yeah.
Well, that's a fun arc. Because that arc's just stupid.
Dungeon Dice Monsters.
Let's go, drumsticks! Guys, Joey named his chicken. I love that line so much.
Yeah. Oh, the fucking stupid joke in the abridged series where the fairy just goes, "Hey, listen."
Hey.
Yeah.
Well, that was dumb. You know what's not dumb? The fucking trauma dump I watched after.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
we still don't have music, so I'm just gonna pick one at random and we'll go with it.
Cue the random music.
The car can't believe it.
This is the water music, isn't it?
It's called night driving. So we'll just go with that.
That actually works for this episode. So yeah, episode 4, the twin thing. So a lot happens in this episode. We actually finally.
I think Luke is my favorite of the characters now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because if anything, this episode really showed his family kind of sucks. Other than Nell.
Yeah, I mean,
Theo just
we mostly only hear about like Theo and Luke's relationship. We never actually see it in practice.
Yeah. This episode definitely didn't help Steve in the ranking chart.
No, it did not. Although I still think I dislike Shirley more than Steve. Well, Shirley with Steve, it kind of makes sense why he's so like fed up with it.
Yeah, I mean that scene at the house in the middle of the episode during the flashback, that was not his best moment.
No, definitely not.
Everything else I'm usually on his side for. That was though I was like, yeah, no. Like you've lost your points, sir.
Yeah.
I still think Cheryl still has or Shirley, whatever her name is. She still has her point. Like the fact that the whole like Luke at the wedding thing, honestly, probably hurt both those characters in a lot of ways.
Yeah,
that led to this shit.
Well, especially since we have very similar scenes between Steve and Shirley with the whole giving him money to just fuck off. But at least Steve didn't blatantly tell him to shoot up the money.
Yeah, Steve basically just said, "Here's the money. You can sell the camera. I need my iPad."
Yeah.
And to be fair to Luke, he was clean at that point.
But I mean, when we first saw this scene, we didn't know that. Now with the extra added context, it's like, oh, he was actually trying to do a good thing. Like, yeah, he had to break into an apartment and try to steal some shit to do it. That was not a good look. But no, he was actually trying to do a good thing.
Yeah.
Just may not have gone about it the right way, but he didn't really have any options available to him at the time.
This episode is a rough watch. We'll see.
Yeah, it was tough, especially like going between child Luke, like 6-year-old Luke, and then adult Luke. It was a lot. So going into just so we've talked a little bit up to this point about all the different Crane children and their various degrees of we'll say ESP. I was saying more like different levels of paranormal ability, we'll say, or sensitivity as they call it. So we got Steve, who is just straight up skeptic. He just is completely immune to it all. Shirley's got like the weird dream things. Theo's got the touch. And it seems like Luke and Nell, they have a couple things going on because they are both actively being haunted.
Yes.
With Nell, we have the bent neck lady, and with Luke, we have the bowler hat man.
Who's later a woman.
But also, and this is like a thing that, it's a well-known thing, the whole like the twin telepathy thing. But theirs kind of takes it a step further. Because at one point, Luke's telling a story to his friend Joey about how, there was one day where he broke his ankle, and then like a half an hour afterwards, Nell calls him and is like, "Why am I icing my ankle right now?" And there was multiple situations like that, like things like, "Oh, why are you awake? Because you're awake." Why? How do you know I'm scared? Or why are you scared? It's like, because you are. Multiple situations like that. And there's another thing that I don't know if you picked up on, right? So he wakes up in the middle of the night, right, in the rehab center. And, at the same time that everybody else wakes up, but there's we assume the moment of Nell's death. And
That's
from
what
that
I
point,
figured, yeah.
from that point forward, as like his storyline is going on, where he's trying to find Joey and help her, and then he gets duped and all that other shit. As that progresses, he keeps going through these moments where he's like, "I'm so cold, my arms feel so stiff, my neck hurts."
Yeah.
It seems as if he is experiencing the aftermaths of death, the rigor mortis, the chilling of the body temperature. It seems like he's experiencing all of that.
The fact that he kept saying how cold he was, I kind of was getting that vibe.
But that also didn't help his, the fact that he is in fact 90 days sober.
Yeah.
But when he encounters Steve, he's still feeling these effects. So, like, all intents and purposes, from the outside, he looks like he's tweaking hard.
Yeah, when he's like going up the street counting.
Yeah. Well, that's like that's a separate thing.
I know there's a reason for it, but like for anyone who doesn't know, like, yeah, he looks out of his mind.
Yeah, for sure. We had a couple moments with Child Luke too. So I think at the very beginning of the episode, we see a scene of him talking to Abigail. At this point, we still don't know what the deal is with that. But he's talking to her, and he's saying, like, the ghost in the basement, and it freaked me out, but nobody believes me. No one ever believes me. And that's kind of a theme throughout this episode, is the idea of belief, the idea of faith, or in another way, of putting it, trust. It's a big theme throughout this episode between Luke himself, between Joey and all of his siblings. And another big theme throughout this episode is that the idea of the fourth step in recovery, the fearless moral inventory, which is essentially just trying to get a full spread of like all the shit that he's done throughout the course of his life as an addict. And even going back into, the reasons why he is an addict. So we also had that really intense scene towards the beginning where they're in that recovery meeting. And there's I don't know if this is supposed to be like early on in his rehab or if it's towards the end. I'm not 100% sure. But there's this guy there who's telling the story about how he had he gotten into drugs, and eventually he got to a point where he was like, I need to straighten my shit out. So he joins the military, and he's like, all right, that'll probably straighten me out. And it did for a while. And then he started seeing some really fucked up shit serving. The main thing that he seems to be hovering over throughout the course of this is he happened to see a small child burnt as shit. And he describes her as having a runny egg eyes, because he talks about how when there's a fire, people never really ask questions about what happens with the eyes, and it turns out in some cases they melt. And that is an image that it was burned into his mind, so much to the point where he went back on drugs. And he apparently decided to drop some acid one day, and he kept seeing the face of the little girl and stabbed his eyes out with sewing needles.
Yep.
Yeah. But by the time we get to the end of this whole monologue that he's going on, he starts putting forth the idea of, I was doing the drugs to try and get rid of this image in my head, this haunting I was going through, for lack of a better word. But because of the drugs, I'm never able to not see it.
Yeah.
The idea is that even though he is now blind and can see nothing, he can still see her. And the general idea of that, the general conceit of that is just so true. Because a lot of people tend to turn to drugs to push away the things they don't want to deal with. And as a result, those things tend to make themselves much more present. It's like they hover over you. It's like a weight on your back that you just can't get rid of. The longer you push off dealing with it, the worse it gets. So yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was a lot.
Yeah. And we also got a couple little spooky scenes of Child Luke. There was the scene with the buttons and the little like antiquated like intercom system in the house, which basically just amounts to a brass tube that goes from one room to another.
It's like the thing at the playground where the kids could yell into.
Oh yeah, I remember those. I used to love those things.
Yeah, you tricked the dumb kid to put his ear right against it, and the asshole on the other would scream into it. It was hilarious.
I'm sure I can guess which one of those kids you were, Bill. Based on how you said that.
No, I was the kid in the corner who just watched and went. I didn't have friends back then.
But yeah, we had the scene where they were dropping the buttons down that, and they were fooling around with it, and then he saw like the reflection of the sickly old woman ghost who was asking for, what was the fucking name? It was some like Cheryl or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we had the scene with the bowler hat man. Well, we had the scene earlier on too, where they discovered the hat, and he was trying to like tell his dad all about friggin' the ghost he saw, and his dad's just dismissing it. And then like the hat comes up, and he's like, "Oh, I want that hat." And he's like, "Well, only big boys can wear the big boy hat, so pretty much like the ghost wasn't real, right?" Which is, I mean, it's hard for me to really be critical with Hugh here, because I think the vast majority of dads would have maybe not that direct, but essentially being like, yeah, no, ghosts aren't real, here's your hat. But then later, and for a while he's just walking around with his hat and doing his thing. And then at night he starts hearing this tap, and he's like, what the fuck is that? And he goes to walk out the door, and he sees like the silhouette of the old man ghost, right? And he's like, oh, fuck that. And he goes back into his room, and he's hiding under his bed. And like the ghost comes in. You can hear the tapping of the cane, right? And then when you actually see Luke's perspective, watching him from under the bed, like you just see him like he's still using the cane, right? But he's hovering. He's like 2-3 inches off the ground. And it's not like my feet are dangling kind of hovering. It's like his position, his posture is as if he was standing straight on the ground, just raised about 3 inches off the ground and just smoothly gliding across the floor. It was just a very, very creepy scene. That's something the show does really well, is being able to sell the creepy factor without relying on things like jump scares.
Yeah, no, I did enjoy there wasn't a lot of jump scares in this one. We've only really had jump scares in the first 2 episodes,
and even they were pretty minor.
I don't know. I didn't like the bug, but
I don't know. I wouldn't call that a jump scare.
Yeah, I guess.
Jump scare is more like they close the fucking mirror and they're right behind her, kind of thing.
True.
We also had, like, shortly after Hugh had given him the hat, we had the scene of Hugh and Liv just kind of like doing their husband-wife like playful banter thing, and she picks up like this shawl and throws it on, and it seems like she's kind of having like a Theo moment, because she starts going into like significant detail about how the house used to be. She's like, oh, well, these chairs were over here, and these are the drapes over here, and here the bookshelf was over here, and it was arranged like this, and there was 3 children, and one of them was in a wheelchair, and these 2 reading chairs were facing, like, to it at a significant detail bought all the shit. And Hugh was like, that was oddly specific. And she goes, oh, well, the chairs for sure. The chairs for sure. Like, it seems like to me, at least, it seems as if Steven and Hugh are very similar. And as we'll see later on, like, you could definitely tell that Steven and Hugh had that kind of relationship, at least back then. But like, it seems very much like Hugh is a skeptic, and it's like kind of like a known thing that Liv has like these episodes or feelings or whatever you want to call them. But he kind of just writes them off a little bit. But to her, it's a very real, like, I am experiencing something otherworldly. And Theo gets it. And I'm sure to a degree Nell does too. Although Nell and Luke are both, 6 at the time?
Yeah, so younger, definitely.
They're not really aware of it in a very specific way like that yet. We should probably talk about the dinner scene.
Yeah, that's so this is after Luke, because the first episode makes you think he ran away from rehab again, but in reality he actually is chasing after the one friend he had in there.
Yes.
Who I hate to say it because like Steve's whole like monologue, like the way he acts kind of ends up being true. Yeah,
he's just such a dick about it that you don't want to admit that he's right, but he is kind of right.
Yeah, the way he handled it was poorly.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I mean, there's so many things about that dinner that you could point at and say, you know, he's this way and he's that way. I mean, even just like, because you could tell, like, when we're getting that scene, right? Because this takes place 1 month into Luke's sobriety. Which is 2 months in the past by the point where we're at in the present. And we already learn that we learn in this episode actually that Steven and his wife Lee have been separated for a month. So this is like a month before them two are separated. So they're obviously having problems.
Yeah, you can tell.
But like, so in this dinner scene, right? So we've seen a few scenes of Joey up to this point, even before she ran away. But she seems like a completely different person in this scene. Almost like she's trying really hard to give off a certain persona about her.
So what's weird to me is the scenes we had seen with her before the flashback, she actually seemed like a pretty well-rounded character for what she was, all things considered.
Yeah.
But then it's like in that scene, it's almost like she's projecting like super hard.
Yeah, like she's trying really, really hard to give a good impression of herself. To the point where she's trying too hard, and Steven's picking up on that.
Yeah, she starts getting really preachy.
Yeah. But then, like, you know, she's just, you know, she's trying to have regular conversation. She's like, oh, so Luke tells me you're a writer. And he gets kind of like, all like weird about it. He's like, oh, I'm surprised he even mentioned it. And it's like, okay, like, why would that be that surprising?
Yeah, because we know the family was weird about it, but we never really got Luke's vibe on it.
Well, that's another interesting thing too, is we really haven't, aside from that one scene in episode 1 of us seeing Luke exiting Steven's apartment after taking the iPad and the camera. This is the only episode we've really gotten anything significant with Luke, aside from the wedding scene.
Yeah, there's that, and then the because the only real hint we get is that he's been trouble in the past. Because like when he makes the whole thing about like what you're not going to give someone the benefit of the doubt or like a chance, and he's like, no, not anymore. I've given up too many, all to you.
Yeah, he's like, I'm all out of chances. Like I used them up on you. Yeah.
Which is like, you get it, but at the same time, I was like, damn, dude.
And he has
Harsh.
and Steven makes a good point too at one point. He says it in such a dick way, so you don't want to admit it, but he says, you know, like, you can be a good person. I know you're a good person, Luke, and I love you. But, you know, and like he has that moment and Luke's like, wow, all right. Like, and like you want to, like, you feel for Luke, but you also kind of get where Steven's coming from. And also, like, there's also the fact that, like, all right, so it's kind of like glazed over a little bit. Like, they talk about it like here and there, but the Crane siblings are split between coasts. So Luke, Nell, and Steve are on the West Coast, and Shirley and Theo are on the East Coast.
Yeah.
So Luke pretty much relies on, like, when it comes to like family, he has Steve and Nell, and that's it.
Yeah, because it's implied that Shirley already gave him enough money and she's done with that.
Yeah, well, the wedding was the last straw for her.
Yeah, and she was kind of in the wrong there.
Well, she could have handled that situation better, and I think that was another example of the twin thing. The whole, hold on. Excuse me. The whole example of like the whole twin thing, the twin telepathy. Because as soon as Shirley turns him away, she goes back to Nell, and Nell's like, "Oh, the day's almost perfect."
Yeah, she totally knew.
Yeah, because whether she knew that he was there or not, she sensed something amiss. Because they feel what each other is feeling, which you got to imagine that has to have a significant effect on both of them. Because between Nell's consistent fear, anxiety, stress, PTSD, whatever else, and then Luke's addiction, his heroin addiction, like, if they're sharing all of those feelings between the two, that's gonna fuck both of them up.
Yeah, honestly.
But yeah, I love the I did love the scene during the dinner where she had asked him about the book, the writing thing, and then she's like, "Oh yeah, Luke writes too," or Luke's a writer, and he's like, "No, and she's like, "Oh yeah, you should tell him about that short story about the ghost in the garden or whatever." And Steve's like, "Oh, Abigail, yeah. I wrote about her in one of my books too, although I bet Luke probably won't get as much blowback from his." It's like, well, that's a little bit different, buddy. He's writing about his own experience, and you're writing about everybody else's.
Yeah, he was a little bitter
a little
there.
bit different. A little bit different. And again, we didn't really get Luke's perspective on the whole book thing. And I mean, who knows? Maybe to him, it's just, oh, you have more money, I can mooch off of you. Who knows? But we never really get his opinion on that whole thing, or Nell's for that matter, up to this point.
Yeah.
I think part of that too. I mean, obviously Luke wasn't part of the conversation at the time, but I think part of that is also just because Shirley just kind of took over that conversation, like just completely took it over and just spoke for everybody. She
seems to do that quite a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, considering how whipped her husband is.
Yeah, no kidding.
And he's still going behind her back too.
Well, I mean, if he didn't, then their fucking business would have gone into the ground.
Yeah.
So yeah, then we get more deep into Luke. Like, he ends up leaving the rehab center and trying to find Joey because she left in the middle of the night. And she's been sober longer than him at this point. Like, she's 9 months sober and he's just hit 3.
Yeah.
So he's trying to track her down because she's been super supportive and helpful for him with his sobriety, and he wants to try and do the same for her. So he goes and he like knows exactly where to go too, because it's like the middle of the day, and he sits down in the spot, and then he gets lost in all these flashbacks and thinking about the past and everything. And next time we see him in that scene, it's dark out. He's still sitting in the same spot, and then he sees her approaching. We assume a dealer.
Yeah.
he goes and he intercepts, and they have their whole thing, and he's like, you know what, I get it, it happened, we can work through this, I'm gonna try and get us back into the rehab so you can do what you need to do. And the rehab wouldn't let them back in, so now Luke's kind of scrambling to try to figure out what he could do, try to find a safe place for her to come down and go through the withdrawal process and all that. And so his first thought is, well, I'm going to go to my brother's house. I'm going to go to Steve's house, not knowing that Steve and Lee are separated.
Yeah.
And I'm curious because they had that scene when they get there, right? And he's like, you should stay back because she'll know. She always fucking knows. And that makes me wonder, like, is she... we don't know what she does for work, do we?
No, it's unclear.
Because it is like there was that little like off-screen line that we heard during the Nell wedding scene in the last episode where you hear her say something about, oh, well, I supported you for 6 years or whatever to Steve. So obviously whatever she does, like, it may not pay like super, super well, but it was enough to support two adults for like 6 years.
Yeah. And then
So I have to wonder, like, does she work? Is she like a nurse? Does she work in the medical field or something? And does she work in the kind of job where she sees that kind of thing a lot? Like, does she have experience with addicts? Like, we don't know.
It's unclear because, like, she is like the character we really don't know much about at the moment. Because, like, in episode 1, we find out they're separated. Then episode 2, we get that flashback scene, and then we briefly see them back together again.
I don't think it was that they were together. I think.
Well, they were in the same room.
They were. I think it was just her trying to be supportive because his sister had just died.
Yeah. And then this is probably the most we've seen of her so far.
Yeah. So have you put any pieces together as to what may or may not be their problem, or? Because they've hinted at it a little bit throughout, but they haven't outwardly stated it yet.
Not really. I'm still not really.
Well, we'll just leave it at that for now. So yeah, obviously, like, Lee turns him away. She makes the same assumption everybody else makes, and just assumes that Luke is just trying to fucking get a quick high. So. He gets Steve's current address from her, and that's where we get the scene of him, breaking in and stealing the stuff. And then, like, as he goes back out to Joey after getting the money from Steve, and there's a pretty significant, like, demeanor shift with Joey.
Yeah,
I don't know about you, but the second she's like, "Oh, you have the money," like, I'm like, "Oh yeah, she's gonna rip him off. She's gonna screw him over."
She sure does.
And especially when she goes into the kids, there's like a guarantee, like, "Oh yeah, she's picking his pocket right now, and she's gonna dip." Which, of course, is exactly what happens. And then, like, we get this scene of him, like, because we got like the beginnings of this scene earlier. And then we get like the full scene of him doing his little speech after getting his 90-day chip, where he's talking about how he has screwed over members of his family so much, and he hopes he never has to experience that feeling of what he did to them. And that's exactly what is happening here.
In the business, we call that foreshadowing.
Yeah. And that was it's a really sad moment because his first thought is like, well, I'm just going to go back to that spot where I found her and hopefully I'll find her again. And as he's walking there, he gets jumped by a bunch of random hoods, and they beat him up and take his shoes.
And jacket.
Which is kind of ridiculous because, like, I don't know if you noticed this. He was wearing the same jacket he was wearing during the dinner scene that took place 2 months earlier.
Yeah.
So, like, and he's been living in a rehab for 3 months. So, like, it's not like the shit he has is, like, worth money. Like, that was probably, like, a $30 sweater and, like, $15 Walmart shoes he was wearing that they just beat him up and took from him.
Yeah.
For like literally no reason.
Yeah, that whole scene felt really mean-spirited, to be honest.
Yeah.
Well, it's like he's already down. Let's punch him even further.
Well, that's just to put an extra underline on just how bad this drug epidemic really is, and B, how committed he is to his sobriety. Because despite all of that, he could have gone out and tried to get a cheap fix. He could have just said, screw it. Life sucks. Everything sucks. My family sucks. My friends suck. Everything sucks. I'm just going to go get high, which a lot of addicts would just fall back on that. But no, he calls the rehab again. He's like, please let me back. Please. I need to come back. I got fucked over. I'm freezing. I ache. I got beat up. I got no shoes. I got no jacket. I'm fucking cold. I'll sleep on the fucking floor. Give me a fucking sheet and a corner to sleep in, and I'll be fine with that. And like, by this point, Paige, the social worker, whatever, the person at the rehab, is sitting in the room with Steve, because Steve is actively looking for Luke right now.
Yeah.
And she's like, all right, hold on, we'll be there to pick you up. And then he starts doing the counting thing, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then we get the flashback of little Steve, or little Luke, explaining the counting thing to Nell about how that's kind of like a coping mechanism for him. Whenever he feels scared about something, whenever he feels anxious or worried or whatever negative feeling he's feeling, it helps for him to count to 7, one for each member of their family. And we see that it's something that he still does to this day, because he's literally pacing back and forth, counting to 7 while he's waiting to be picked up on the street. And throughout all of, like, this whole thing, he's constantly being haunted by the bowler hat man. And every time he notices him, he's a little bit closer, until eventually he finally turns around to face it, and it's his mom wearing the bowler hat.
I was like, oh.
And this is kind of like there's like a big parallel here going on with there's a whole scene we had earlier where he's talking about when his mom died, and after he had gone to live with his aunt, he was still young and didn't really fully understand the concept of death. He was still expecting his mom to come home one day. So anytime he'd see the lights of a car coming up, he'd be like, oh, maybe that's mom.
Yeah.
So when he turns around and sees his mom, and she says, come home, honey, and then Steve's car lights pull up and she is illuminated in the headlights, and that's when he turns around and sees Steve there. And he's like so relieved, he's so thankful, like, thank God it's my big brother, he's here to help me. And he's so fucking broken by this point. He's like, I wanted to help her, I couldn't help her, and I'm so cold, and I ache, and everything's awful. I got beat up. And he's like, but I didn't use Steve. Like, you believe me, right? And Steve doesn't answer.
Yeah, because it's pretty clear.
Because he doesn't believe.
Yeah.
And that's when he drops the ball. He drops.
Yeah,
the
the worst possible time he could have done that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of why he was looking for him in the first place. So
yeah,
but he tells him, Nell is dead. She killed herself, and Luke has that moment of silence. You see the teardrop, and then he looks up and he goes, "No, she didn't." And that's where the episode cuts.
Yeah, it ended there, and I was like, God damn it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a very intense episode, very emotional episode.
Yeah.
You think it'd be hard to top the last one? The last one was pretty fucking emotional.
Yeah, it was. This one, though, it definitely was a lot. So next episode is the Nell episode, right?
Yeah, titled "The Bent Neck Lady."
Oh boy, yeah, that'll be That'll be interesting.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's definitely been an experience.
Yeah, for sure. It's an intense show. It's very intense.
Yeah. Honestly, this episode was more real than scary. They really didn't jump into like the horror aspects in this one as much.
Well, see, that's the thing is the horror in this episode is realistic, like real life horror. Like these are the kinds of lives that a lot of people in the world live,
Yeah.
and that in and of itself is horror.
Mm. That is true.
So,
But yeah, that was The Haunting of Hill House. Yep. What a weird dynamic of topics. We have a really shitty anime movie and then that.
yeah.
Oh.
What a shift! What a shift!
Uh,
Far more to talk about with that one episode of television as opposed to an entire movie of a very huge, well-established franchise.
that was 100% made just to sell cards and toys.
Yep, for sure.
And it boy sure worked.
Somehow.
Yeah, I mean Yu-Gi-Oh was pretty big at that point. But I guess yeah, anyways, guys, once again, thank you for joining us on Geek Addicts. You can find Geek Addicts on all the major podcasting platforms. Be sure to check us out over on the Superpod Network, superpodnetwork.com. Awesome site with a whole bunch of different podcasts, videos, blogs, all the fun stuff over there. And yeah, I guess once again, guys, thank you for joining us, and we will see you all later.
Have a good one.
Can't find the button.